All right. Hey, everybody, it's Dave Juno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. How y'all doing? I wish I could be saying I'm doing okay, but I'm really not. Not Meniere's wise, okay? But it has to do with a question that gets asked commonly. Is anesthesia being knocked out for a surgery, um, is that a trigger? I'm not going to say it's not, okay? It isn't for me. So, but we're all different. But I wanted to explain that, it's we're all different. So different things trigger us, right? Sometimes it's anesthesia, sometimes it's something else. So I'm not going to say it won't, but it could. I mean, I can see why it could. They're giving you a narcotic to knock you out, and then they're intubating you. So I know the next thing is people are going to ask, "Oh, what did you have surgery on if it wasn't Meniere's? Why did you?" Okay, I'll tell you. When I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 2, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they gave me Jardians. We've all seen the commercials for Jardians. And I took it, and it left me with a very nasty yeast infection on your genitals. Again, that's a side effect. It could be a side effect. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it happened to me. Okay? Because I know some people take Jardians and their blood sugars are great. I took it, my blood sugar was great, but I was in a lot of pain, and it took a long time for it to heal. I mean, I was putting antibiotic, whatever, antifungal, whatever, on it, and it took like 6 months to heal. But what it did was it left me with fistulas on the head of my penis. Because yeast infection in your genitals. So it left fistulas there. It had skin growing on top of it. So after a year and a half of all this, I decided I needed to get this fixed because it was becoming very, very painful. It was very painful. A lot of videos I was making, I was in pain. So, not all of them, but, sometimes, yeah, it was in pain. So I had that fixed today. And that the pain from the surgery went from 8 to now it's down to like a 2, maybe 1 or 2, somewhere in there. I'm just, thank God it's not as bad as it was when I first came home. I'm still walking kind of gingerly, but that's okay. I got to do nothing for like a week. And then, do some other things. But I wanted to and the reason, I didn't want people saying, "Oh, you had surgery," but we won't tell us what it is. It had nothing to do with Meniere's, okay? But I do have to explain why, because I want people wondering. Did he have a biopsy? Did he have this? Did he have that? I don't want people wondering. But the anesthesia all it did was knock me out, okay? And before the surgery, they give you, they give you almost like a sedative. They give you an IV, then they give you a sedative. They do all these things, Then they give you the fentanyl or whatever they do to knock you out. Then they intubate you, which is what they did to me. They intubate me. And if you can tell from my voice, it's a little scratchy. It's kind of swollen inside, but I'm a histamine magnet. I get a cut. It blows up. I don't know if you could see that right there. 5 days ago, that was a huge welt. Okay, and even if you look here where they put the IV in, there's a bit of a welt. So yeah, I'm at histamine. It just blows up. So, so yeah, that's a little throat swollen, but I'm okay. But as far as the anesthesia, luckily the anesthesia doctor who I went with this morning, he kind of knew about Meniere's. And I did throw the thing out, and I said, listen, I do Meniere, I have Meniere sites, and this and that and the other thing. I got a question, this big question. Could anesthesia be a trigger for vertigo? And he said, yeah, it can be. He goes, with that disease, almost anything can, but it can be. I've had a couple other patients who have had Meniere's like you, bilateral Meniere's, and it's been a problem. He goes, but don't worry. It's right here that you have Meniere's, and they got you a walker. And I'll take care of you if you get vertigo. Don't worry about it. He said the worst thing that would happen after the surgery, if you had vertigo, is that we would admit you for the day, and then you'd probably go home tomorrow when it settles down. He goes, other than that, he goes, it depends who you are. It depends, just like everything else. He goes, just like everything else with Meniere's or any kind of disease that can be triggered, everybody's different. So I was like, awesome. Okay. I was like, thank you. I'm going to do a video about this. Blah, 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 blah. He goes, oh, okay. But the thing is that you're not really going to know it's a trigger for you unless you go do it. But if you're in a hospital, to be honest with you, they're not going to let you fall. And if you tell them you have Meniere's, which you should have told them way beforehand, they're going to. Most hospitals will accommodate you. Okay, it seems like the hospital people, the surgical people, those type of people, they know more about what Meniere's is than the regular doctors. It seems like, and they'll accommodate you. Like they accommodated me with Walker. They accommodated me at St. Vincent's Hospital in Worcester. They accommodated me with Walker, wheelchair. Well, they wouldn't let me walk around, so even with a walker. But yeah, the wheelchair. They look out for you. They check on you. They make sure you're okay. That was a big thing. They kept saying, do you have vertigo? Do you have vertigo? And I kept saying, no vertigo. No vertigo. So for me, it's not a trigger, but we're all different. So I wanted to get that out there about anesthesia because it is a question that people get, that people ask, I should say, because, they give you anesthesia now for colonoscopies, where they didn't before. They would give you a tranquilizer and right up the, wazoo with the camera. If you're claustrophobic like me, they will give you anesthesia for an MRI, and your head surgeries and other surgeries. So my best advice about anesthesia is, unless you know it's a trigger for you, don't worry about it, because you're not going to find out until you actually do it. And they're not going to do a surgery that requires you to be knocked out, with you awake. They're going to knock you out anyways. Depending upon maybe if what they give you, like I think they said fentanyl and something else they gave me. Maybe you told them fentanyl is a trigger. If you know fentanyl is a trigger for you, and it's not the same fentanyl that you see on the street. It's different. The fentanyl you see on the street is generally like horse tranquilizer. So they'll work with you to get you out because they don't want you to be in pain. And believe it or not, I really didn't want to watch that. They could have just numbed it up and I could have just watched it. And nah, I can watch them put a tube in. I can watch them do a needle. I can watch them, I got mad and I wanted to watch them do the labyrinthectomy. Down there, I don't think so. So yeah, and she was like, yeah, we're going to knock you out. So yeah, just, what? Don't be afraid. And if it happens, then you know what to do. And believe it or not, they will know what to do. Okay? They'll give you Zofran or they'll give you meclizine or something else that will help with the vertigo. And they probably will keep you overnight just to check. And that's a good thing. You want them to do that. So on that note, you might be seeing a lot of videos from me the next couple of weeks. The next week at least, because I can't do a lot. And I'm already bored. So I will talk to you all soon. If I don't hear from you, have a great weekend. I know I'm just going to be sitting on the couch watching football playoffs. And my wife will be watching Dr. Pol. Okay, I don't know how many of you people have ever seen The Incredible Dr. Pol. I can't stand the show. I hate the show. It makes me sick to see animals being operated on. So, on that note, guys, have a great weekend. And you know what? If you got to have, last line, if you got to have surgery, get it done. They're going to knock you out. They'll just find a better way to do it that won't cause you vertigo if you know certain things are your trigger. And like I said, you're not going to know until you do it. Take care. Bye.